Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. It's wonderful to see you here today. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and if you're new here, hi, welcome in. Go ahead and click that live chat button. Feel free to introduce yourself and set any requests for your personal healing. We are going to get things started off by building a beautiful crystal grid exactly to all of your requests. So go ahead and put those requests in the chat. If you're watching this as a pre-recorded video, hello from the past, you're going to have just as much healing as if you were here live. But if you would like to skip ahead to the healing, go to approximately the 1 hour to 1 hour 15-minute mark, or where you see the lights begin to shift, and begin your journey there. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. It's wonderful to see you again. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. And let's go ahead in and take a peek at the crystal grid. But before that, if you want to know anything else about me, my live online Reiki certification courses, if you want to schedule a one-on-one distance healing or tarot reading, or if you want to shop my Reiki charged crystals, go ahead over to learnreikiphiladelphia.com. It's linked in the description. And through the 28th of August 2023, there is a 20% off sale on my crystals. Use the coupon code HOMESWEETHOME. So thanks again so much, and let's go ahead and start building that crystal grid. Okay, so let's see. Oh, perfect. And right now I have a little kitty in my lap. I have a Gertie cat in my lap. So if you hear a little purring, you know who it is. And let's see who we have. Margaret, Jennifer Vatsa, Martha, good to see you. Oh, Dreams 23, Patty Key. Let's see. Stella, Joanne. Oh, it's so wonderful to see you all. Thank you all so much. And thank you all so much for being so welcoming and loving as always. I love the community that's building here. You're absolutely magical, all of you. So I'll get to everybody's requests before we get into the Reiki. Oh, yes, Gertie. Hey, well, let's go ahead and see the kitty. Oh, yeah. You can stay here if you want. I knew you all were going to ask to see the cat, so I figured I would. Go ahead. Oh, there we go. Back in my lap. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, the Singing Sisters. The furry chorus. I love it. So Martha, I hope you're doing well. Oh, that's some good collections. Oh, your cat's next to you too? Oh, awesome. We find that, yes, Martha, I saw your purchase come through. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And just a heads up, anybody that buys, not only do you get the discount, but I'll be throwing in lots of extra goodies because I'm moving. So the less I have to carry, the better. So, hey, Chris, it's wonderful to see you. Oh, awesome. And Carmen, welcome in. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get to everybody's requests. I'm just going to go through and I might just, Sorry, I thought I would spare you all the fire, the fire engine screaming past. So let's see. Red Tiger's Eye, Moonstone, Mookite, Smoky, Amethyst, Carnelian. Smoky, whoop. Amethyst. Black Onyx Citrine. Red Coral. Garnet, Emerald, Ruby. Yellow calcite bloodstone. So Martha, I'm going to work yours in as we go through everybody's requests, but I have them all pulled, so they'll all get in there. And let's see. Oh, that's a good selection. And these are awesome requests, everybody. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, you can request by the intention that you have or the specific stones or a little bit of both. If I happen to have the crystal, I'll happily put it out for you. And if you set an intention, I'll pick stones just for you and tell you all about them. Let's go ahead and start off with sunstone. This helps to expand our vision of our own future and gives us an opportunity to move up in terms of career, whether that's getting promoted where you are now or new opportunities. This helps you to be recognized. It helps you to get notoriety and be seen. So it's also good for self-promotion and marketing if you have your own business. It's good for avoiding exploitation, money manipulation, things like that, and for phobias as well. So there we go. And, oh, we have another kitty. Let's see. And for amethyst. And if you do hear background noise, I live in West Philly, and West Philly is West Phillian right now. So if you hear any background noise, it's just outside. So amethyst is helpful for connecting with our spiritual body and advancing our spiritual connections. This is a wonderful stone for accepting the things we can't change, changing the things we can't accept, and the wisdom to know the difference. That might be part of your recovery journey or not, but it really is helpful with that whole wanting to cultivate a new and more improved life and finding a way to do that that's sort of measured. And by that I mean you don't beat yourself up as you make your progress. You can mark your progress one step at a time. So that is amethyst. Also helps with intuition and improved sleep. Smoky quartz is great for protection and for transmuting energy. It fundamentally changes energy. This was used as far back as the Middle Ages to protect property from theft. And it is highly protective in a lot of different ways today. Whether you want to shift the energy of a space or keep your energy clear, or just kind of calm worry. Smoky quartz is great. And smoky quartz can be either this like almost clear or all the way to like almost a black kind of color. But yeah, wonderful for just fundamentally shifting energy. Also some carnelian. Wonderful for relationships. It's very connected with the sacral chakra beneath the navel. This is every way in which we relate to the world around us and have relationships with people, including romantic relationships. And this stone very much includes things like sexuality as well as fertility. It's also helpful for healing wounds, colds, allergies, and attracting love. So there we go. So that is carnelian. Oh, awesome. I love the convo you all are having right now about incense. Hey, you two. Okay. Oh, good. The kitties are calming down. We'll also bring in some pyrite. This is one of the stones that's helpful for manifesting material abundance, and I feel like all of us could use that. It's fool's gold, and it definitely helps attract the real gold. It's also helpful for opening up your intuition while being protected. So it helps with that kind of two-way, like, yes, I want to hear, but there's boundaries around it kind of vibe. Also helpful for the lungs, fever, brain, the brain itself, as well as memory. And it's also thought to be helpful for side effects of radiation treatments. There you go. And then mookaite, which also goes by Australia jasper. This is a superb stone for decision making and accepting change. It's also helpful for bladder pain as well as calming digestion. And it also goes by the name Australia jasper, so mookaite. Let's actually put this here and this here. Moonstone helps with connections to all the rhythms, cycles, and patterns of nature. It's particularly connected with the tides, as the moon controls the tides. I often think of Moonstone in relation to the High Priestess Tarot card. This is connection to ancient wisdom, deep truths, the divine feminine, and intuition in general. It's also very protective of travelers, and it's one that helps with connection with divine timing and trusting divine timing, as well as attracting love. So there we go. We'll bring some of this in. Moonstone can look a lot of different ways, and Moonstone and Labradorite are very closely related. And red tiger eye is probably the most protective stone I have. Much like gold tiger eye, just this deeper red tone. This is protective on the mundane level from bullying, people who would pick on you, triangulate you, try to be manipulative. It's also helpful for anyone who would do any kind of psychic attack or malevolent spiritual work, and it's helpful for manifesting financial abundance in a hurry. So that is red tiger eye. Let's put that around here. It's such a beautiful stone. Such a beautiful deep red tone. Yellow calcite is the stone of the solar plexus. This helps with joy, confidence. It helps with motivation. It also helps with clearing blockages around anything that feels like you're having difficulty stepping into the life you want to live, embracing everything that you want in life, and even listening to what your wishes and desires are in this life. So we'll bring this in. It helps to release the need for approval of others and helps you to step into a life based on your desires and priorities. Okay, and we'll do one more from Martha's pile, and then we'll go ahead and start bouncing around a little bit. I love all of these requests. So next I'm going to bring in bloodstone, which also goes by the name heliotrope. This is kind of an emotional stuff hits the fan type stone. It's wonderful for emotional support, especially at those times when you feel like the rug has just been pulled out from under you. It helps to lift despair and provides a lot of emotional stamina, relieves a lot of self-doubt. It's also helpful for any time that you're struggling to meditate. If you find that your mind wanders, this is a good stone to help balance that out, relax the mind so you can have more of a spiritual connection. So that is bloodstone, which in many parts of the world goes by the name heliotrope. So awesome. Well, remember, it doesn't, Mercury retrograde doesn't automatically mean everything goes bad. It's when planets go retrograde or seem to move backwards in the sky from where we see them, that's a time where we become more acutely aware of reflecting inward. Like that, rather than communicate. So in this particular case, Mercury, the planet of communications, it's usually like projecting out, communicating. It's basically, the astrology is of a time to reflect inward. Like if you wanted to go on a meditation retreat and really reflect and do work on yourself during a Mercury retrograde would be perfect. So as far as like the doctor's appointments and things like that, I would just say best thing to do is just cross your T's, dot your I's, leave a little early, and just sort of like write down anything you want to make absolutely sure that you say, and write down anything that they say, double check, like, hey, did I understand that correctly? That kind of stuff, and it'll probably be okay. But all the best to you and to Key tomorrow at the doctor's appointment. Well, the good news is that Key put the intention for this visit out ahead of time when you booked farther out. So keep me posted. I'll send some good, understanding energy both of your way. Yeah, just it's a good opportunity to be misunderstood or to misunderstand others. So just kind of like, yeah, just go through things really slowly, step by step, and make sure you understand. And see if there's a way that you can double check, like, do they keep notes? Is there a patient portal? That kind of stuff. So I hope it all goes well. So let's see what's next. So dreams, you have panic attacks. Gotcha. There are, let's see, my favorite stone for anxiety is green calcite. It's very reassuring, very calming, helps to also, in addition to releasing the mental emotional side of anxiety, it helps to kind of unwind the physical tension we hold when we're stressed. So it can help to bring a lot more peace and calm and reduction of pain in the body. It helps with nervousness, like a nervous heart as well. And it can lighten the mood. So it can basically invite in the opportunity to like laugh at your own expense in a way. So that's very helpful for releasing anxiety, as is malachite. Malachite helps with things like insomnia, arthritis, inflammation, but it's a really supportive stone for any kind of difficult emotions you're moving through the heart, and especially things like depression and anxiety. If you are processing really difficult emotions, this helps you to move those things through your heart center rather than just getting stuck and kind of feeling heartbroken and frozen in it, if that makes sense. It's also wonderful for phobias and for, it's got a lot of connection for, and insomnia, but it's also great for anyone that might be struggling with like liver issues, pancreas, spleen, that kind of stuff. So that is malachite. So thank you for being here. Feel free to make another request if you have one. And Jennifer, smooth moving process because Mercury retrograde, cash influx, love, communication, being able to express your needs and not push them down and pretend they don't matter. Absolutely. Yellow calcite is part of what can help that. Stones that you requested, I don't have topaz, unfortunately. I'm working on getting it though. Shungite, peacock ore. Shungite, peacock ore. Honey calcite, blue calcite. Blue calcite is so spot on for what you're asking about. This is one of my favorite emotional first aid type stones. This helps with soothing pain and especially helps with verbalizing your emotions and verbalizing what you're having difficulty expressing. It helps to bring healing, revelations, a lot of clarity to things, and also helps with decision making, especially when you're in those places where you might not be in the place emotionally to make decisions, yet you have to. So this can help. I'm also going to bring in blue lace agate because it helps in a lot of the same way as far as like expressing emotional needs that are difficult to speak. Yeah, blue calcite is especially good if you don't even know what the words are. You just have the feeling. Blue lace agate helps with that expression. It also helps with softening what we're going to say so that it lands a little gentler for the person hearing it. Helpful for arthritis and fractures as well. And anything with the throat, anything with skin allergies, anything having to do with like a tension headache, blue lace agate can be helpful. So I'll put that in for you too. Shungite's another exceptional choice. This is wonderful for breaking up and releasing emotional pain, any kind of energy blockage, and stress. If you've been stressed out, this can be really helpful. It helps to recover and regenerate tissue. So if you've been injured or had surgery, this is a great choice. It also really deeply clears our energy field. If you are sensitive to electromagnetic fields, shungite is the perfect choice to carry around or keep near you when you're in those environments. Honey calcite helps with remaining optimistic even when things would have you feel otherwise. It's wonderful for everything about balancing the sacral, which is how we relate to others, and the solar plexus, which is how we bring forward our wants, needs, and desires in life. It helps with also attracting really good people that kind of mesh with you really well. Colleagues, friends, love interests, etc. This will help attract the best people into your life at the best time. So that is honey calcite. It definitely works really well alongside yellow calcite and or orange calcite. And peacock ore, which does so many things. I haven't had proper time to like super chill with this stone yet since all of you have brought it into my life. And thank you, Chris, for gifting this to us so that we could enjoy it. Peacock ore or chalcopyrite. This is wonderful for executive function and even finding things that are lost. Also helping you to collect your thoughts and really organize your mind and your order of operations so that you can continue to walk into your soul's purpose. That's what I kind of feel about this stone. It's absolutely wonderful and beautiful. Thank you so much, Chris. There we go. And let's see. Ah, you get double retrograded, I see. And you're so welcome, dreams. Absolutely. And let's see. So I would say another stone that can help. So let's do some stones for Mercury retrograde because I feel like that could help all of us. One of my favorite stones for helping during Mercury retrograde is sodalite. This is wonderful for expression and communication. It's a good stone anytime, but it's a really powerful and positive stone to have around when you're dealing with, the difficulties around communication. It helps with expressing yourself. It's also wonderful for things like, what do I want to say? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Homesickness. It's wonderful for homesickness. It helps to ground impulses, and it can help anyone come to terms with different factors around like aging or menopause. So that is sodalite. But yeah, it's a powerful stone of communication and expression, and that includes artistic expression as well. Very much so. But that's one of my favorite stones for Mercury retrograde, and also fluorite. Fluorite is a stone that I recommend anytime energy feels chaotic. We're trying to make sense out of personal chaos or grand scheme chaos in the world. It helps us to organize our environments, and it also helps to bring comfort. It even brings comfort after like labor and delivery to both mom and baby. And it helps also for just relaxation and chilling out in general. So it's like kind of like the eye of the storm type stone. And how cool is it? It naturally forms like this in these octahedrons. So we've got some, yeah, I absolutely love those. So there we go. We've got that. Okay, so Patty got peacock ore, dragon's blood, rainbow moonstone, crazy lace agate. So Septarian also goes by the name dragon's egg, and it is 2 types of calcite together. This stone is wonderful for muscle pain and muscle spasms on the physical level, also for like skin wounds and wound healing too. But particularly, this is a powerful stone for emotional healing, especially deep emotional healing. This helps with that shadow work, healing the parts of ourselves that we seem almost afraid of, like we don't know how to approach or touch. It helps with getting really vulnerable in our healing process and helps with healing the underlying causes of, like the underlying behaviors and beliefs and the mental attitudes we have that are getting in our own way. Also great for anything having to do with the solar plexus, including sense of self, defining or redefining who you are, any kind of identity crisis. Crazy lace agate is wonderful for balance. It helps with phobias, and it helps on many levels. Helps on many levels with antiphobia, but also courage. This is a stone that helps with the heart and solar plexus. So heart is compassion and love, but also your sense of self. It helps with confidence and protection for the eyes, the ears, as well as speech. And it helps with any connection to spider and spider magic. So if you have spider phobia, if you're working with the web of life or web of karma, this is a wonderful stone. Also helps with connecting to times in the past. So we'll bring that in. If you're working with any kind of like paranormal work or haunted space work, that can be a really helpful stone. Now, not to be confused with dragon's egg, we have dragon's blood. This one's great for the skin, hair, and nails. It's actually a blend of epidote and pymonite. This helps with moving past grief and loss. And also if you struggle with things like self-pity and kind of getting stuck in that place, this can be really relieving of that. It helps with patience for yourself as well as others, and it also helps with learning from your mistakes. It's thought to be really supportive of the thyroid too, and it's great for the nervous system, and it's also thought to be really helpful for the immune system too. So that is dragon's blood. Fire opal can be a very protective stone in many different shamanic cultures. Opal of all kinds is seen as very protective. If you're doing good work, healing work, and you kind of don't want to attract the attention of, say, spiritual entities that are not on the same side of good as you are. This is almost like a cloaking agent. It just helps you to be not noticed by negative stuff. So we'll bring this in. It's also helpful for attracting love. Rainbow moonstone, which is actually white labradorite. This stone is wonderful for clairvoyance, clairsentience, and just being intuitive. It helps you to connect to the divine feminine if that's your intention, but also to connect to your spirit guides. It's wonderful for channeling or anyone that does divination work for themselves or others. So tarot card reading, mediumship, any of that kind of stuff. This is very helpful for. It's also helpful for just expanding your aura when you're doing that kind of spiritual work, so you can get more in the place to just sort of sense what's there. So that is Rainbow Moonstone. And Rainbow Moonstone, when it's raw, looks just like this, and you may see big inclusions of black in it. So just letting you know, if you see it out there in the world, it can look a little different. Here is Aquamarine. This is wonderful for all the body fluids as well as the teeth and gums, and it helps with forgiveness, whether it's the I forgive you and I let you go, or I forgive you to give you another chance, or anything in between. This can help hold that space. It's great for deflecting really low quality interactions, like pettiness and like those who would be Karens, let's say. It's the ultimate anti-Karen stone. It helps for anyone who's misdirecting their hurt feelings by taking them out on someone else, it really helps discourage that. It also helps with inviting in a concept of like, may justice prevail. And it's thought to be really helpful for teeth and gums. So we will bring in Aquamarine. And we also had Garnet was a request that we also had for Martha. Garnet helps with organization, courage, creativity, and practicality. This helps you to take a fresh look at things and say like, okay, here's my to-do list. Here's all the things I need to get done. How can I get them done in the most efficient way so that I can have more life in my time? Also helps with finding balance and strength in times of change. So we'll put some garnet around. It is the January birthstone, and it's a very Capricorn type of stone. It's very in alignment with that astrological sign and all it represents. Hey, Grace, Kanta. Allison, good to see you. Just checking through. A crystal for loneliness. I might have to look that up. There is a stone that I often use, but I'll look up a little bit more. Oh, Chris, you feel lonely and you're missing your mom. Oh. Okay, so, and I see, oh, Grace, you were asking about the stone for forgiveness. That's Aquamarine. And thank you, Patty. Thank you for putting that in there. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead up and... So for grief and also, let's see. So for mother-child kind of stuff, whether it's wounds around that, whether it's freshly after birth and delivery, or even grieving loss of connection with one's mother, rhodochrosite can be really helpful. This also helps with the heart and circulation, as well as telepathy, connection with ancestors, so that very much includes your mom, and even our deceased pets, as well as stress, headache, and even asthma. So that's rhodochrosite. And for grief in general, there's lots of great stones for that. But I feel to bring in black onyx, which was also requested by Martha. This helps with definitely grief and ancestor connection. but it also helps with protection, like spiritual protection, and with anxiety and self-doubt. It helps to really bring about a good amount of self-esteem, and it helps to ground a lot of that fear, anxiety. It also is very protective on the mundane levels and the spiritual levels. So we'll bring that in. So I hope that that helps, Chris. Let's see, let's put that in there. Okay. And man, my neighborhood is hopping tonight. West Philly is wild West Phillian. There we go. And let's also see, Amazonite will also help with Chris's back. Amazonite helps with the spine and spinal nerves. And it also helps with encouraging self-respect and self-care. If you or someone you know and love tends to overlook their self-care, this can be really helpful. It's also great for calming in general. And hang on a moment. That was weird. The sirens turned off as soon as I hit the mute button. But yeah, this is also good for luck. So self-care, the spine, and spinal nerves are the big ones for Amazonite. Amazonite can also be a darker kind of green with a little bit of blue and white stripes within it. So we'll bring this in. Actually, let's put that here. And I could use help with the spinal nerves too today. I mean, I always can, but... There we go. Celestite, fuchsite, labradorite. Celestite helps to connect with our angels and our spirit guides, as well as our higher self, but to bring through guidance for sure. It helps with discerning what are thoughts, what's intuition, and what are fears, telling them apart, and so that we can kind of make decisions based on a good balance of those different ideas. It's also helpful for physical pain, and it's very much a high chakra kind of stone, like crown and third eye, even soul star a little bit. So this is a stone that helps to change our connection with our body. So it changes our perception of pain, at least temporarily. But celestite is a very angelic stone, a very high vibrational stone. Fuchsite helps with just enjoying and having fun. Play for the sake of play. So it's very empowering of self-care as well as inner child work. It's helpful too for carpal tunnel, spinal alignment, and sleep disturbances. So that is fuchsite. Labradorite is superb for sleep. Also good for study and research and detailed attention to lots of little things. Speaking of Mercury retrograde, if you have to read through a lot of details, this is a great stone to have with you to really peek through and pay attention to all those lines. So those of us who are signing leases during a Mercury retrograde, this is helpful. Also helps to bring workplace harmony and clairvoyance. Also a good one to have on vacation. Not only does it help with better sleep, so if you're traveling across time zones, this can be helpful, but it helps you to truly enjoy travel. So that is labradorite. And mortarite, epidote, neumite. So neumite is a stone that we don't get to see too often in the healing arts. It is one that is mined in Greenland and only for 7 months of the year because it's so cold there and the ground gets frozen. But this is this super dark stone with these flashes of gold that come up just in the right light. This is a stone that can be very protective, especially of your spiritual items like your tarot cards and things like that, to keep the energy clear. It can also help with connection beyond the veil. So if you're doing any work with spirit stuff or mediumship, this can be helpful. It's helpful to like the bridging of the gap or working beyond the veil. But it's also helpful anytime we do inner reflection work or shadow work. It helps us as we go through our dark times to find these glimpses of gold that remind us of spirit, and that our spirit saying, hey, you found something worth digging through all this darkness for. So that is Numite. And these are in the crystal shop. These are on sale too. So that is Numite. Okay. Dumortierite, which these were a gift from Jennifer Vatsa, who is in the chat. You can shop her crystal collection as well. If you Google Belladonna Botanicals, it'll come right up. She's also having a little bit of a moving sale. And this helps with pent up anger and frustration. So this can also be really helpful during the Mercury retrograde, especially if you're traveling during Mercury retrograde. It helps situations that seem hopeless. It's great for chaotic energy. It's helpful for nervous dogs, as well as standing up for yourself, which seem completely different, but somewhat complementary. It's, also for a physical level of healing, it's helpful for tendons, ligaments, things like that. So we'll bring in Dumortierite. But yeah, patience, frustration, anger. Excellent stone. Epidote is one of my favorite stones to work with for changing our internal dialogue. If we tend to talk down to ourselves, in our internal monologue, this is one that helps us to be kinder and gentler to ourselves. It helps with that negative self-talk. It's also great for the brain, specifically Parkinson's and things like it. It's great for the nervous system and the skin and connection to the fairy realm. Also helps with recovering from illness and injury. And this stone is part of what makes up dragon's blood. Also Unakite. Yeah, Epidote is a beautiful stone of pink and green. I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful stone. And awesome. So thank you so much for being here, Patty. All the best to you and Key at the doctor's appointment tomorrow. Oh, yes, and thank you for the reminder. Don't forget to hit that like button. I always forget the YouTuber stuff. You're so welcome, Chris. Lots of love. Oh, kunzite. Yeah, kunzite can really help, especially for things like what Chris is going through. Yeah, so kunzite, very high vibrational stone. So this is a stone that I always feel very connected to the Kuan Yin whenever I hold it. It's high level compassion, it's unity, it's collective consciousness, the knowledge that we are all interconnected and we're all one. It's also one of expanding our heart center so that we can hold even more unconditional love. So we'll bring this in. Just if you want to feel the connection of spirit all around you and not feel alone, pink kunzite, very, very helpful. Let's see. And for Chris, we've got a couple of stones that you asked for. I'll bring in aventurine. And we have some of the stones that Martha had requested too that you guys kind of overlap. So let's get a couple of those. Let's get some ruby. Ruby helps with courage to be yourself. And it's also really helpful with anything around leadership. If you want some management type skills, this can help you with it. And this is beautiful natural ruby. This also helps with fibromyalgia as well as love and fertility. And I love it alongside garnet because it helps give you all those leadership skills. And then garnet kind of is like hey, let's figure out the best way to get this done. Let's like min-max our time. So there is Ruby. Aventurine helps to expand our vision of our potential. It helps us to see that we have come a long way, and we can set our goals a little higher if we want to, even if we haven't thought about that yet. It also helps with heart rhythms, allergies, and eye problems, and fertility. And it's also thought really helpful for things like learning, especially if you think like, oh, I can't learn that. I could never do that. That's beyond my ability. This is a stone that would encourage you to give it a shot and help you to see that maybe you're capable of more than you think. So that is green aventurine. Very encouraging stone. There we go. There we go. Now we're in balance. Citrine helps with financial abundance in a big way. Also helps us with making good financial decisions with the money and resources that we do have. It's wonderful for nausea and things like morning sickness, as well as fibromyalgia and addictions, as well as compulsions. So we will bring in citrine. Citrine and anything that you want to use for bringing in abundance. Your financial corner of your house, if you're doing Western feng shui, because in the West, our buildings, our communities aren't even built remotely close to a feng shui standard. So Western feng shui is considerably modified. Walk into your house or the room or your business. Walk into it with the door to your back, look forward, and then to your left. That corner. That's the one where you want to put things like citrine or your money manifestations or anything that you're working on in that corner. We'll also bring in some emerald. This helps with healing the skin and tissue, as well as reigniting our passions in life. It helps with breathing and the lungs, everything about the cardiopulmonary system, and for restoring confidence about our appearance, especially things that we may have been teased about in the past or even in the present. So that is emerald. There we go. And we had Martha's request for red coral. Red coral, and coral, be careful when you're purchasing coral, because oftentimes it's harvested without any intentions or care to the reef. This was a gift. This particular piece, like red, well, basically red coral in any capacity, this is very protective of women, especially against things like misogyny and any place that women are treated as less than or are silenced, admonished, relegated, stepped over, passed by. This helps to empower and protect. So that is red coral. So we'll put that there at the bottom. And we'll also bring in some lapis and some iolite. Lapis is another stone that can really help with Mercury retrograde for sure. It's open, honest communication, and it helps with personal responsibility, disorganization. Really great for communication. Also with just integrity and follow through. Helps too with career opportunities, as well as vertigo and anything inner ear. So that very much includes hearing issues. So let's go ahead and bring these in. So that is lapis lazuli. Okay. Iolite is superb for anything involving weight loss, if that's an intention you have, as well as grounding for bedtime. If you have difficulty sleeping or you wake up because of intuitive types of things, iolite can help balance that out. It's good for money managing too, and for clairvoyance, especially things like visionary meditation and or shamanic journeying. So that is iolite. Yeah, definitely for dizziness. Lapis is very good for that. So that was well timed for sure. Joint inflammation. Actually, lapis is great for pain and inflammation, as is malachite. Let's also bring in howlite for joints. Joints and anything impacting the bones. I have issues with my bones. Nobody in Philly understands what osteopenia or osteoporosis is, but if I say, oh, I have bird bones, everyone's like, oh, she's got the bird bones. Well, I know what that is. I don't know why, but that's what everyone understands. But yeah, I've got really weak and brittle bones. So crystals are never a replacement for stuff, but they are an amazing complement. Same with Reiki, a complement for everything. And so I take my supplements, I've shifted my diet, I do weight-bearing exercises, I follow up with my doctors, I get my scans, and I work with howlite, and I do some Reiki. Howlite is very helpful for bone strength and integrity, as well as healing the joints and joint pain and inflammation. Also helps with breaks and dislocations and calcium absorption. And it's on the emotional, mental level. It's excellent for anger, resentment, and frustration. Those are really challenging emotions because there's just not a great way to release it. And howlite can be so helpful. Yeah, the worst timed pain flare up. Yeah, right? It's like, oh, and I have to move. Great. And we'll also bring in blue apatite and sapphire. Sapphire is a very high vibrational stone. It helps us to connect with our spirit guides and our angels. It's wonderful for mediumship, connecting to spirit, and getting through those messages. It's a stone that it's very high vibrational. If you don't have a good grounding practice, I would suggest that you work on that before you use it for channeling and mediumship. But it's also great for speedy justice, supporting the thyroid, as well as dementia, the eyes and the ears. So this does quite a bit, and we absolutely love it. So that is sapphire. Whoop. There we go. Sapphire. Okay. And blue apatite is a very dynamic stone. It helps with a lot of different things in really empowering ways. One is it helps with our relationship with food. Whatever adjustment or balance needs to be made for any reason, super helpful. Whether it's gaining weight or losing weight, this can help support that. It's also wonderful for learning your soul's purpose and having courage to sort of enact it and work along that path and that journey. And it also helps to strengthen your auric field or your energy field, so you're less inclined to absorb the energy of other folks. It also helps to just bring about an incredible amount of harmony and peace. So here we go. There we go. Awesome. And I'm going to bring in some Herkimer, which helps to empower any kind of manifesting type work. And it is super helpful with relaxation and being in the present moment. It's also wonderful for harmonizing energy that just feels a little discordant. It helps to bring a lot of balance. It's great for metabolism and intuition in general. So that is Herkimer diamond, and it's not a diamond or a member of the diamond family at all. It's actually quartz. And these form just like this, these double terminated or two-pointed natural specimens. They formed under the Earth's surface in the Herkimer, New York region of the US. So there we go. So thanks for being here, Chris. Forward momentum and balance. Ooh, I like that. Forward momentum and balance. I'm going to say polychrome jasper. This helps with walking our soul's purpose. It's very connected with the Earth Star chakra, which is beneath the root, and that has to do with showing up in our life and doing the things we need to do to get in alignment with making our soul's purpose come to life. It also helps with breaking down indifference. It's really motivating, and it helps to bring a lot of confidence. It's also great for joint health, so it'll help Jen with that. And it's great for physical movement, the arms and the legs. So that is polychrome jasper. So let's see. We'll balance out the pneumite with that. There we go. So that's polychrome jasper. Key is still having gut trouble. Okay. Dalmatian jasper helps with clearing energy, like our energy field, our aura, and can really help to chill out digestion too. It's wonderful for acid reflux, IBS, Crohn's, all of the above. It's got black tourmaline running through it, and black tourmaline helps to like strongly repel negative energy. It's wonderful to put around your property, keep it in your car. I've even sewn it into curtains. South Philly tested and approved. It works. But yeah, because it's got black tourmaline running through it, it helps to deep clear our whole energy field, which helps us to let go of cynicism and feelings of being jaded. It's also a great stone that I highly recommend when it comes to like things like you want to hold a space for cooperation. Let's actually do this. It helps to like clear everything out and helps everyone to work together a little bit better. So it's wonderful for like collaborative efforts. There we go. So all the best to Key's tummy. And dreams, you said you lost your job recently and you want to finally go for your dream job and manifest passing your exams to start a new career in real estate. Awesome. Congratulations. Is there a crystal for confidence in career and new beginnings? Absolutely. And it is sunstone, orange sunstone. That's one that helps like really bust open the way that we look at our potential, and so that we don't limit ourselves. It's wonderful for bringing new opportunities in career and also being seen and recognized, and for, in general, just helping us move forward. It's great for also moving things like phobias out of our way. So that can really help for studying and passing exams is labradorite. It's superb for that, as is tiger eye. Tiger eye is very helpful for learning as well as just high level, big picture kind of looking at things. It helps to strengthen courage. It brings in a lot of balance. And it's a stone that also protects against envy and jealousy, but it's one of just like entrepreneurial thinking, like thinking big about what one can do. It's definitely great for study and research. So this is tiger eye. It's very protective too. So we'll bring this in. Whoop. But yeah, definitely for that. And I'm also going to bring in tourmalinated quartz. Tourmalinated quartz is much like we talked about Dalmatian jasper, having black tourmaline in it. Much the same. This has black tourmaline running through it. This quartz happens to be green, but oftentimes it can be clear or any color. But yeah, tourmalinated quartz helps with grounding and releasing energy. It also helps with breaking up really stuck energy, like old childhood type stuff, growth, scars, lesions. It's also helpful for fortune and luck, as well as finding new jobs, new income streams, new sources of revenue, whether it's passive or active. and just healing all kinds of old emotional trauma. Also very protective of travelers, which is very helpful in a Mercury retrograde. So I'm going to bring that in for you. And because this one happens to be green, it also brings a lot of heart energy into it too. So I hope that that helps. All the best to you. Ooh, Grace, happy news. Your foster dog is eating well, taking her meds really well, and started playing. I'm so glad to hear that. Please send me a Reiki to get better. Intentions are for heart healing, self-love, and acceptance. So yeah, so let's bring that in. Radical self-acceptance is blue kyanite. This is, in addition to loving and accepting ourselves exactly as we are, it helps us to understand any spiritual guidance that's coming our way. And it's also wonderful for any kind of neurological support, especially around things like speech and mobility, often things that can be impacted by stroke. So that is blue kyanite. But yeah, self-love, self-respect, loving yourself exactly as you are, that's blue kyanite. So let's bring that. Actually, let's bring this in here and here. There we go. For Mia, your foster doggo, leopard skin jasper, wonderful for all aspects of working with our animal companions, helping them heal, and just being connected with them in general. Also helpful for connecting with our animal guides and attracting a soulmate. This is a stone that can help with anything impacting the skin, as well as coordination and balance. So this will definitely help dizziness, which was requested. And also, if anyone's dealing with anything like parasitic, which is usually not humans in certain parts of the world, but definitely can impact our animal companions, this can be very, very helpful. So that is leopard skin jasper. Let's go ahead and bring this in. There we go. Oh, and just like that, my neighborhood is all of a sudden really quiet, and I'm afraid to say that out loud because I'm afraid that that will change. There we go. And heart healing. Let's bring in some rhodonite. Rhodonite is helpful for autoimmune stuff, allergies, and asthma, but it's also wonderful for healing the cracks of a broken heart, whether that's grief-related or whether that's the end of a relationship, a divorce. It helps heal insecurities and anyone that's healing from past emotional abuse, as well as balancing yin and yang energies in the body, but great for heart healing. So let's go ahead and bring this in here. And Allison, I don't know if you were here to hear it, but I got an apartment. I got an apartment too. We were all looking for new places to live. And Jen found one too. And oh, thank goodness, right? So Allison looking for a request for expedited financial blessings. Also for luck in new love. Absolutely. So expedited financial blessings, we have red tiger eye in there, as well as pyrite and citrine. So those are in there. New luck in love, we have moonstone, carnelian, and leopard skin jasper. So we have those covered. But yes, let's go ahead and bring on those finances for sure. Also Herkimer, which helps connect with what we're manifesting. So good to see you. And Kanta, energy of movement, positive actions, insights, and ahas. Shadow, pain body, note self, inviting me to be anxious. Instead, you want to learn in and dance with it. Sunstone, yes, Sunstone is here. Letting go of anxiety, we also have green calcite, which is super helpful. And for expression and kind of going with the flow, we have sodalite too. And pneumite, which helps us when we're like going through our deepest, darkest kind of stuff, like our shadow healing stuff. This helps us to find insights, revelations, the aha moments in that. So pneumite is here to help with that for sure. So that's good. And also Let's see. Definitely for spiritual clarity, there's a lot of good stones. Let's bring in some I feel like I want to bring in some green kyanite. This is one that can be very helpful when it comes to throat, chest, lungs, heart, asthma, cardiopulmonary system. Helps with blending and balancing spirituality with the mundane life and gleaning wisdom through intuition. It helps you to connect with plants and nature and with connection to spirit. I feel like this can help kind of blend both sides of what's going on, like the mundane experiences and the spiritual experiences. It might help bring some unity there. So I'm going to bring that in for you, and I hope that that helps. When we were going through spikes of COVID and everybody was sick, this was one that really helped with so many folks with lungs and things too. But yeah, very spiritual as well. So I hope that that helps. And yes, sunstone's very helpful for that. Emotional wounds inflicted by family members, overcoming their judgment, scapegoating. Gotcha. Definitely helpful is rhodonite. Rhodonite can be really helpful with healing past emotional abuse and neglect, as well as insecurities around that. And another one that can be helpful is mahogany obsidian. This can help release any need or connection to like a feeling like you need to gain approval of others, or looking at things as how they would approve them or not. It helps us to release perfectionism, release anger as well. And it's helpful for meeting goals, strength and vitality. A done something is better than a perfect nothing is kind of a great tagline for this stone, but also for meeting goals, but meeting goals on your own terms and not those of others. So we'll bring in some mahogany obsidian. Let's bring in a big piece right here, actually. Let's bring in one big piece of mahogany obsidian right there. But that can be really helpful for grounding that energy. And I find rhodonite really helpful for that kind of stuff. Yeah, judgment, scapegoating, and it's like you hear it in your own head. If you have a negative self-talk around those kinds of past pain, epidote is really helpful. That's what really helped me. That's actually something I deeply healed during COVID, is like being able to just hear me and realizing like, wow, I talk to myself in a way that I would never talk to another person. I know where those words come from. And so healing all of that stuff and everything underneath it, rhodonite and epidote really helped me with those. So I hope that that helps you. And let's see. Hey, Affirmation Station. Anxiety and spiritual guidance. Definitely a lot of, well, you're welcome for all the information. Definitely anxiety is on tap today. We've got green calcite in here to very much help with not only the anxiety itself, but how we store it in our bodies and the tension it can create. So that's definitely there. And spiritual guidance, there's a lot of requests around that. We've got sapphire, The green kyanite can help. Celestite's very helpful with that. Moonstone, rainbow moonstone, even labradorite can be really helpful, as well as Herkimer diamond. And thank you, yay. And let's see. I'm also going to be bringing in last stones because we're going to dive into the healing now. Let's bring in some angelite because we're all asking for a lot of like guidance and clarity, and especially with what Affirmation Station just requested. Let's bring in some angelite. Angelite is very connected with the angels, as the name would suggest, but also our guides, and hearing their wisdom come through. It helps you with feeling connected to spirit and connected to source, and it's great for spiritual protection. It also helps us to make the most of sound healing. So next, I'm going to go ahead and let's see, where are we going to place this? Let's put one big piece right here. Yes. And can we fit a piece right here? Yes, we can. Hey, look at that. So next we're going to go ahead and, if you don't mind taking part, totally optional, I'm going to go ahead and describe what Reiki is, a little of how it works, how to make the most of your session. And while I do that, if you wouldn't mind helping me lift the energy of the space that we're all sharing and of your individual locations, go ahead into the chat, click that like button if you haven't already, and share anything that you're grateful for, anything at all. If you don't want to share it out loud, just take a deep breath and think about it. But anything that you're grateful for at all, that will help greatly lift the energy that we're all sharing and of the space that you're in. And then we're going to get into the healing. Okay, cool. And thank you all so much for being here. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name is Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm celebrating 15 years of teaching Usui Reiki. So what is Reiki? Well, Reiki is a catch-all term now for, in general, energy healing, but specifically I work with Usui Reiki. This particular practice is named after its founder, Mikao Usui, and he created this particular practice in the early 1920s in Japan at a really tumultuous time in Japanese history. This particular practice was, given the context of the time, very secular, but also incredibly spiritual. And so I feel like that's a big part of why it resonates with us so much in the West. But the very understanding of what energy is at the foundation of Usui's practice is best found in Shintoism, the indigenous spirituality of Japan, in which everyone and everything has a soul, and all of those souls are interconnected and part of one, that collective unity concept. It's thought that all of us are working with this energy and have it flowing through our bodies at all times. Whether or not we're aware of it, it's still there doing its thing. Essentially, Reiki translates to spiritually guided soul energy. So spirit, however one would define it, is essentially providing this energy that keeps us alive and animated as spiritual beings beyond just the collection of cells. And so this energy is always flowing through us, supporting our body, mind, and spirit to come into the greatest sense of balance that we can moment to moment. Whether or not we're aware of it on a mundane level, it's nonetheless there and doing it. Essentially what I'll be doing tonight is connecting to this energy source using Usui's techniques and directing more of this energy to you wherever you happen to be and whenever you happen to be watching this video. More on that in a moment. So as I send this to you, wherever you happen to be, notice you may feel in your body some physical sensations. Emotionally, you may have some emotions rise up or be released. Mentally, you may find some habits, beliefs, things that you're ready to let go of, hear your subconscious, or find some resolution. Spiritually, you may get some big insights, some clarity, some resolution in that regard. You may also have a really relaxing nap, and isn't that always amazing? So more than likely, your session is going to look like the perfect combination of all of the above. So what do you need to do? Nothing. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind silent or quiet. You can just allow your mind to do what it does. If you feel like you're distracted or you want to go deeper into the session, just take a deep breath in and out. But the Reiki will meet you, greet you, and support you exactly as you are right now. If you'd like, I invite you to go ahead and get comfortable, whether sitting up or lying down, whatever feels right for you. You can move around all you need. You can also, if you don't feel like lying still, you can do some stretches or some yoga or journal or play some music, or really, there's no wrong way to enjoy this time. And I will send Reiki for 25 minutes, during which time I will turn the lights down. You'll notice that they move slowly and gently from one color to the next. At no point will they flash or strobe. And I will turn the music up. If you want to learn more about our musical creator, she is linked at the bottom of the description, so you can check out her channel and even visit her website. And of course, if you want to learn more about me, my website is learnreikiphiladelphia.com. I lead live online Reiki certification classes. You can also schedule one-on-one distance healings and tarot readings. You can also shop my crystal collection. There is currently a 20% off moving sale with the coupon code Home Sweet Home, and that's even on sale items. So that's learnreikiphiladelphia.com and click shop for crystals and use the coupon code Home Sweet Home. That is through August 28th of 2023. So thank you so much for being here. I am just always honored to share this healing with all of you. Thank you for being here. And during the session, I'll be doing my thing, but at the end of the 25 minutes, you'll hear my voice welcome you back and invite you back to the chat. If you have any questions or anything to share at that time, you're more than welcome to. If you want to just go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night, that's also fine. And if you are watching this in the future, or for those of you who are live, if you ever find that there's a time where you really need Reiki and I'm not live, go ahead to our past healing live stream playlist. Reiki is not limited to the same constructs that we are. We as humans are limited to being in one place at one time. Reiki, not limited by that. So yeah, it can meet you whenever you're finding this and wherever you happen to be. So time and space don't apply to Reiki. So anytime that you find this video or anytime that you need Reiki, go ahead and look at that past healing live streams and you can get some healing whenever and however you need it. You can also even skip ahead just to the healing portion if you feel like you need it. It's totally fine. Won't hurt my feelings one bit. So thank you again so much for being here. Let's go ahead and take one more look at the grid and move on from there. Ooh, pretty. You all inspired an amazing mandala tonight. Hey, Carmen, welcome in. You're so welcome. Thank you. And yeah, everyone, I'm here live 5 times a week, same days, same time, so it can become part of your routine. All those days and times are listed in the description, and you can also subscribe with your notifications on, so hopefully you won't miss an opportunity. But those notifications are never a sure thing. Aw, the furry sisters, the purry sings. Oh, thank you, Margaret. All of the love in the chat. Hey, Lila Ray. You're grateful for the rain in San Antonio. Absolutely. Yes. And lots of love to all of those dealing with any kind of flooding or fires or all of the things that are happening. So everyone, enjoy your session. Just be as you are. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind silent. Reiki will love you and support you exactly as you are. But if you want to take any deep breaths during to help you get deeper into the session, you totally can. So enjoy your session, and I will come back for you in 25 minutes. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly stretch, move, or bend as you feel you need. And Hattie has been here getting Reiki with all of us. And purring at the microphone to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I love their sounds too, even when they're waking me up at 6 a.m. And yes, they do that every day. I've had to become a morning person, but there's no better reason. You're so welcome, Chris. It's so good to see you, and thank you so much again for the crystals. Yeah. Oh. Yep, she's a purring machine whenever the Reiki's on. Oh, really, Patty? I hope it's helpful. And yeah, 6 a.m. on the news. Aww. If you have any questions or anything to share, go ahead and share it in the chat. And my next live is tomorrow at 4 p.m. East Coast US time. You're so welcome, Dreams. You're welcome back anytime. We're a chill crew over here. Oh, Martha, 3 a.m. Oh. You're so welcome, Carmen. Wonderful to meet you. You're also welcome here anytime. Oh. Yeah, you got them purrs. You got them purrs. And thank you for all inspiring such a beautiful grid. I appreciate all of you being here. The communal chi was absolutely in full effect. And that's the concept that the more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater the energy potential is magnified for everyone. You're so welcome, Joanna. Have an awesome evening. Oh, Hattie's being a love bug. She loves the Reiki. Oh, thank you so much, Dreams. You're so welcome. I'm glad to see you back again soon, too. Oh, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Hey, Bev. Lots of love to you. Good to see you. Thank you, Bev. Yeah, it's amazing how our cats can change things for us. Yeah, Hattie's morning cry sounds like a baby squealing. It's very whiny and very needy, but that's kind of her. And Gertie is much more like physically, like she'll walk all over me and like meow right in my ear, just like meh. There you go, Bubba. Thank you for cuddles. I'm glad you enjoyed Reiki tonight, little Bub. She's just walking around purring now. Aw, you're so welcome. And thank you for all of your support, Martha. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so everyone, I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close with an abundance of gratitude for all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday at 4 p.m. East Coast U.S. time. Allison, good night to you too, and you're welcome. So I hope to see you all again soon. Take care, and bye for now.